that we all touched on made me think about it. Cassie Helgerson, Oglala Lakota from Pine Ridge, South Dakota. And when you brought up Wounded Knee, Wounded Knee in 73 was a big thing in my family. Of course, it happened right there where we lived. And I understood that this person that was supposed to be a leader was not. He was not a leader. He was someone that was greedy and wanted to control. So that's what I thought, these leaders were just bad people that were trying to control. And being from a matriarchal society, I never understood why it was always men. And even now, if you look at not just, tribal governments, but look at the U.S. government, state government, the overwhelming majority of them are male. But yet, traditionally, our women were the leaders.
Right.
There was a chief. He didn't do anything without the word from the women. The grandmothers always had the final say. And like you were talking about the Ovichita, well, in my language, it's Pakichita. And we had women warriors as much as we had men warriors. The difference is that the women warriors terrified everybody. When there was a woman warrior, generally the enemy would run the other way because the women were stronger. So now, in the colonized way, the men are the strong ones, And it's sad to me that so many of our people have just gone along with that. Where is the people that still understand the power of the women? I mean, nobody would be here without the women. Women are the life givers. What is more important than that? In order to give life to another human being, we have to give part of ours. They grow inside us. Everything we do affects them. And then colonized society doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. And I believe if we go back to our traditions, that it would make a big difference. And I do believe it's important to vote, now that I understand it. But I didn't even understand what voting was until 2010. First time I ever voted was in 2010, and it was for a city councilor. And the only reason I voted was because I got to know this person. And getting to know them, I understood that they had had a similar life to what I had. They understood the struggles of being a single parent and trying to provide for your family. And yeah, it was Jackie. But it took me months of talking to her to really start to understand, okay, this is somebody that understands the struggle that I've been through, so maybe she's going to fight with the same things I do. And after that, I started learning more because I realized that if I didn't know anything about voting, how many of our people don't know or don't understand? I believe that if we could get all of our Native people to stand up and vote, we could be in trouble in the election. Because there's so many of us that don't vote, and there's still so many that don't understand it from all age groups, that if we all got together and believed in one candidate, whoever it was, for whatever reason, we all got up and voted for that candidate, there's no way that they could do that. But we need to get everyone to understand that, and it's hard to do because, historically, why would we trust the government? Why would we trust them? They keep doing stuff over and over to show that we shouldn't.
Like the treaties.
The treaties, oh, don't get me started on the treaties.
Sorry.
You know, we all know that that was just a bunch of lies.
That's a whole other campfire.
Yeah. That's a way longer conversation. But, you know, starting back before the treaties, these people come in to our land and treat us like we're bugs that they want to squish. You know, the genocide that they were trying to do, it still continues today. It's just in a different way.
Yeah.
You know, I believe that the tribal enrollment is just another form of genocide. You know, what makes you need it? Is it that card?
No.
Or is it the blood in your veins? Is it the memories of your ancestors? Is it the teachings? You know, it's who we are. But the government wants to say, well, you have to have this card, and you have to have this much blood. Your blood quantum has to be so much. Does that mean that the next person that has a little less
It's less your dish.
is worthless? Is not part of us? Like I said, it's just another form of genocide. They're still trying to get rid of us. Why would we trust someone that is trying to get rid of us? You know, we shouldn't have had to be given the rights to practice our religions. They don't have to have the right to do that. What other group in the U.S. has to have a pedigree? Why would we trust them? And if we don't trust it, it's harder to get people to vote.
That's true.
Because we don't, you know, if you don't believe your vote's going to matter, why waste your time? So I believe that we all need to get together. We need to talk about it. We need to help people understand it. And understand that, you know what, we have just as much right to speak to what we believe in as anyone else. And we have just as much right to fight for that. And voting is a way to do it. It's one way we can fight back.
Well, I think we're socialized from the day when we're born into a world that we've got no control over. So we're socialized into a way of life, and even in America, so-called, it's social status, and class, and gender. All of those things play a part that we're socialized into. Even the form of government that we have, we're socialized into that. So for all of its worth, good or bad, that's what we have. A reservation is a foreign concept to Anishinaabe, and definitely the form of governance is foreign, but it's what we have. So in order to strengthen that, what we have, we've got to participate, we've got to engage, we've got to be a part of. And that's what's the moving parts. Even in the process of dialogue and thinking about what is the best way to serve our people in a communal fashion of the old ways that were more beneficial to everybody. Its current form now, we know that this individualism is not the way for indigenous people to think. So the social forces is pushing us toward the socialization of to be individual thinkers, individual caring for oneself only, selfish. And that goes smack dab against what our grandparents have taught us, to think about each other. So with those things in mind, I think the system tears up the most communally thinking indigenous person. When you engage in this form of democracy that is current in America, you the system is corrupt. So then the person, even if just by osmosis, that they become contaminated in the way they think, in the way they act, in the way they speak, to it's a socialization process that's happening, and I think we got to be aware of that. So, and who gets benefit from this? Is it the individual politician that gets the benefit from it, or is it the people, and how much is invested into that? So, a lot of energy, a lot of monies, a lot of time. There's different forms of knowledge, and I think we can utilize many of that in the way we govern our peoples. We have intergenerational knowledge, what we learn how to harvest and things from our elders, parents and grandparents. We've got dream state knowledge, the ones that fast and vision and dream and have that knowledge. You've got your ceremonial knowledge, that's very important. And then we also have our contemporary knowledge, the ones that are educated, not so much school, but educated, went out and did the research to help our people bring back that wisdom and they can share. We respect those ones that do those things. So all those forms of knowledge can be utilized in balance. Not one woman or one man is the ultimate leader. So in certain areas we have our rice chiefs, other areas of war chiefs and things. So these ones would be called upon. So in its current form, so we have to strengthen its current form what we've been given. Born into this here, we have to strengthen it. We have to strengthen the reservation, our languages, our ways, our culture, how to treat one another, the respect and things. And then the right to exist, the right to flourish, and the right to be sustainable. I think all has to be in the form of governance that we have to be part of. So those concepts I think need to be dialogue and we engage with the next generation.